Hey there. Have you ever imagined what it would be like to be a secret agent? Maybe you think of spies sneaking around in dark alleys or having thrilling adventures. But what if I told you that sometimes things aren't what they seem? Today, we're diving into a fascinating short story called The Midnight Visitor by Robert Arthur. So, let me ask you this. What would you do if you found yourself in a room with a dangerous criminal? Would you panic, or would you come up with a clever plan? Stick around to find out how our main character, Ozabal, handles a tricky situation and learn some important lessons along the way. Our story begins in a dim, musty hotel in France. We meet two characters, Fowler, a young writer, and Ozabal, a so-called secret agent. But here's the twist, Ozabal doesn't look or act like a typical spy. In fact, he's quite overweight and has an American accent, which surprises Fowler, who expected someone more glamorous and heroic. As they enter Ozabal's small hotel room, Fowler feels disappointed. He had imagined excitement and danger but instead finds a rather dull setting. However, Ozabal reassures him that he's expecting an important paper that could change the course of history. So, there is some intrigue after all. Suddenly, a man named Max appears in the room, holding a gun. Max is here to steal the important report Ozabal is waiting for. He looks somewhat like a sly fox, and he's definitely not here to make friends. Ozabal remains calm, which is impressive given the situation. He even complains about the hotel management for not fixing a balcony issue that allowed intruders before. This shows us that Ozabal is used to handling dangerous situations with a bit of humor and cleverness. Now, here's where things get really exciting. As Max stands there pointing his gun, a sudden, loud knocking comes from the door. Max immediately looks nervous. "Who's that?" he asks, gripping his gun tightly. Ozabal, calm as ever, replies casually, "Oh, that must be the police. I called them to check on things since I'm expecting such an important paper tonight. I didn't want to take any risks." Hearing this, Max starts to panic. The thought of being caught by the police makes him anxious. Ozabal notices his fear and quickly adds, "You don't have much time. They'll break down the door if you don't act fast." The knocking grows louder, and Max becomes desperate. He looks around the room for a way to escape. That's when Ozabal points toward the window and says, "There's a balcony outside. You can use it to get away." Without thinking twice, Max moves to the window and jumps out, only to fall straight to the ground. There was no balcony at all. Ozabal had tricked him. At that moment, the door opens, and it's not the police, it's just a waiter bringing the bottle of wine Ozabal had ordered earlier. Fowler, completely shocked, asks, "Was it really the police knocking?" Ozabal smiles and says, "No, just the waiter." But Max didn't know that. Fowler is amazed by how Ozabal stayed calm and used his clever thinking to outsmart Max without even lifting a finger. So, what can we take away from The Midnight Visitor? First, it teaches us the importance of staying calm under pressure and thinking critically about a situation. Second, it reminds us that bravery comes in many forms. You don't have to be a superhero to be heroic. Sometimes, a clever idea is all it takes to turn the tide in your favor. I hope you enjoyed this thrilling story as much as I did. Remember, life is full of surprises. Sometimes, the most unexpected people can do the most extraordinary things. Let us learn some difficult words. Espionage, it is the practice of spying or using spies to gather information. Prosaic means ordinary or dull, lacking in imagination. Wheeze, it means to breathe with a whistling or rattling sound in the chest. Menacing means suggesting the presence of danger, threatening. Intruder is a person who enters a place without permission. Thanks for joining me today. Keep reading and exploring new stories. Who knows what adventures await you next? See you next time. Now, here's a secret on how you can study effectively with the EduRev app. You can learn with chapter notes, watch video lectures and solve NCERT-based MCQ tests of this chapter on EduRev. And that's not all. You also get amazing courses for Class 10 and much more for your Class 10 preparation. Thank you.